Good afternoon, groovy citizens, and happy fantastic Friday to each and every one of you. So as you can tell, I'm dressed a little differently today than I normally am. And that's because my sister and I, we went to the homegoing service of Officer Lydia, who was a longtime member of Metropolitan.
Phone book update failed.
Thank you. Who was a longtime member of Metropolitan Baptist Church. And all I can say is to know Lydia was to love her. And people that got up and said such wonderful things about her. It was just, like I said, honey, there wasn't a dry eye in the building, but it was just good being able to come together along with her family to not only mourn her loss, but to celebrate her life. Because in my opinion, that's what homegoing services are for. They're a celebration of life, where we get to celebrate the lives of the individuals that are no longer here. And like I said, to know her was to love her. At least two people talked about how she would, matter of fact, our new pastor, he said that, she would come early and she would stay late. He said she would walk before me to my car because she was on the security detail. And she would open the car. He would unlock the door. She would open it. He would get in. And once he got in the seat, she would pull the seat belt around him, make sure he was tucked in, and say, all right, drive safe, be careful, and, may God bless you. Close his door and wait till he pulled off. But that was just the kind of person that she was. Like I said, to know her was to love her. So certainly our prayers go out to her family, all her friends, her co-workers, because she is a retired DC police officer. And so our prayers just truly go out to all that knew her, because she will truly, truly be missed. So now let's jump into today's topic, and we are still talking about the narcissist. So today I'm going to be sharing with you all 7 things that narcissists do when they lose control. Because guess what? A narcissist is not always in control. So when a narcissist loses control over you, they will try to use outside forces against you. So number 1, they offer a fauxpology. I like that word. And they tend to do this when you start to pull away from them and or the situation. Essentially, this is a fake apology. So for example, they'll say something like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Mostly you will see or hear an apology without changed behavior. So notice when someone says, I'm sorry you feel that way. Sometimes, well, you know what? Let me say this. Sometimes people say that and they're truly genuine and sincere in that they are sorry that you feel the way you feel about the situation. However, when it comes to a narcissist and they say, I'm sorry you feel that way, notice they didn't say, I'm sorry if I made you feel that way. They're saying, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Number 2, the hover and discard. So when the narcissist is hovering, they are on their best behavior. They are on their best behavior now so they can discard you. Come on, somebody, later on. Isn't that something? So they will hover around. They'll make you think that they're so sorry, and they want another chance, and they truly love you and they care about you, whoop-de-woo. And once they gain your trust back, then they can discard you later on. Number 3, the chance encounter. So the narcissist will show up exactly where they know you're going to be, especially if you do the same things at the same time and the same place. So regardless of how you feel about them, you are going to have an emotional reaction when you see them, and it's not always good. So that's the chance encounter. They say, well, you know what? I know that Michelle's going to be at the gym. It's Friday. She's going to be there at 6:00 p.m. Or it's Saturday. She's going to be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. Or whatever your normal, excuse me, y'all. Oh, all right, so sorry. Whatever your normal routine is, they know that you're going to be at that particular place at that particular time. And so it's that chance encounter. Oh, funny us meeting here. And like I said, they know how you feel about them. And they're not there to be friends with you. They're not there to make you feel warm and fuzzy. They're there to get a reaction out of you. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to give them that reaction that they're looking for. They know that they have ruffled your feathers, because I don't know about you, but I know for me, I've always been told I don't have a poker face. I may not say anything, but my face genuinely will tell you how I feel, okay, about you and or the situation. And so that's what they're looking for. And when they get that reaction, well, guess what? They can go on about their business, because they've accomplished the goal that they set out to I can't even find the word I'm looking for. Their goal was to get you all worked up, and that's exactly what they did. Number 4, emotional manipulation and possibly emotional blackmail. So when they think they are losing control, they will play on your empathy and try to play the victim. They will do and say things that will make you think and feel that you've done something wrong or that you've hurt them in some way. So see, their goal is to make you start to question yourself, which will then possibly lead you to be open to conversation with them. That, my friends, is their foot in the door to you and your life. So be careful, because they will play on your empathy and say things like, I can't imagine what I could have done to make you treat me this way. We all have met somebody like that. Or they'll say, I'm finding it extremely hard to live without you. If you let that person back into your life, they are only going to hurt you again. So just know that. Yes, they play the victim, and they cause you to second and third guess yourself, and you go, wow, maybe I was a little too rough. Maybe I didn't have to break up with them. And as soon as you're open to talk about whatever the situation is, in their minds, they're thinking, got him, because now the door's open. And you've allowed them to come in. And when I say the door, I'm talking about the door to your life, to have conversation about whatever it is that is taking place. And like I said, they get you with the, I can't imagine what I could have done to make you treat me this way. Well, you know exactly what the heck you did. But they'll have you second guessing yourself, wondering if you just made a big issue out of nothing. So be careful about that. Number 5, they'll make false accusations. So they'll accuse you of things that you didn't do. Sometimes they will over-exaggerate things to make it seem like you are the bad person and you really aren't. They can take a conversation from 1 to 10 on the stress scale, and you didn't do anything wrong. You now have to defend yourself from something that you didn't say and or do. So keep in mind, the narcissist can justify the thing that you didn't do to themselves or others, all because they said you did it, and they talk to you about it. They might say, don't you remember that conversation we had? So this is all to intimidate you. So as I said, they'll make false accusations about you. And here's the thing, a good narcissist, they will come up with these false accusations, and it'll be such that they actually believe the lie that they're telling about you. And sometimes it'll make you question yourself, and you'll go, did I really say that? Did I really do that? And you haven't done a daggone thing, but they've convinced you that you did. And they tell the story so well that when they share it with other people, they've convinced other people that you did say and do whatever it is that they said that you said and did. So please be careful about that. And like I said, it has to be true. Why? Because they said it. And because they mentioned it to you, or they told you the lie that they were going to tell about you, when they tell it to other people, then they come back and say, well, you remember, we had that conversation. And you did. You had the conversation that they were going to make up this story about you. That's what you had, not the lie that they told. So just be careful. Number 6, the smear campaign. So this typically starts with false accusations, but not always. Sometimes there is a tiny bit of truth to what they're saying. So keep in mind, they know that the more you fight what they say, the quieter, the guiltier you look. So if you don't have to fight them, then don't. If you don't have to fight them, then don't. So it seems like they want to shut you up and get you out of their lives. But in all honesty, they really want you to look guilty in front of others. And you are doing just what they want you to do by fighting back against them. So, like I said, part of the story, some of the story that they're telling has a little truth, not a whole lot, maybe about this much truth to it, but the rest of it is a lie that they made up. And the thing is they know that you don't want anybody knowing about whatever that thing is that you said or did, and it could have been a long time ago. So they're going to fight you tooth and nail to keep that story from getting out. But you know what I've learned personally over the years, that here's the thing, people are going to say whatever they want to say about you. I don't have to argue with you. I don't have to convince you or other people that I did not do and or say whatever it is that you said that I did and or said. I know I didn't do it. And as long as I know that I didn't do it, I'm done. I'm okay with it. See, I'm not going to argue with you. Only a fool argues with themselves, because essentially that's what you're doing. So if you want to sit and tell a lie, be my guest. But I'm not going to sit here and try to convince other people or you that I didn't do or say it, because I know I didn't. Number 7, last but not least, they threaten you. Now, understand, when you get to this point, that means they know they have really lost control of you. They have lost you completely. And this is where they want to threaten you. See, on the lighter end, when they start to feel you pulling away because you're starting to grow a pair, I was going to say something else, but you start to grow a pair, that's when they start with the offering up the fauxpology. But when they get to number 7, honey, that's when they know that they've lost you. And so they threaten you. So these threats can come in many different forms. And even if they don't have anything on you, they will still threaten you. They may threaten to tell people about something you did or that happened many years ago, because they know that you would rather not let anybody find out about it. Now, if they don't have anything on you, they will make up something big and juicy, because y'all know folk love big and juicy gossip. Let's just keep it real. And so they'll make that up about you. So let's face it, even a vague threat can strike fear into the strongest person. The narcissist will threaten to take something away from you, even if they don't really want it, just to hurt you. So remember, the narcissist can be anybody. Okay, the narcissist can be anybody. It can be your coworker. It can be a family member. It can be a friend. It can be your neighbor, your business partner, or a church member for that matter. So remember, your emotions are what fuels them. So keep them in check. Let me unpack that really quickly for you. So when I say they'll threaten you, let's say back in high school or back in college, maybe you were stripping at a club because you were trying to pay your tuition. Because let's face it, to go to school is expensive, and not everybody walked away with scholarships to be able to pay for college. And so let's say you decided you were going to strip in a club just to make some money to pay for your college, and they know that about you. And so now you're big in your church, or you have a prestigious position on the board, or whatever it is. And so they threaten you and say, I'm going to tell those folks that you used to be a stripper. Now, they're not going to tell them that you were a stripper many years ago. They're just going to tell them that you were a stripper. And even though it's been many years ago, you don't want anybody to know that you did that, because chances are your family doesn't even know. And so just the mere thought of them threatening to tell someone strikes fear into you. Or they threaten to take something away from you. That's why a lot of times in these custody battles, it can get very ugly. One person, not always of course, but sometimes that one parent wants to take the children away from the other parent. It's not because they necessarily want to be bothered with those kids, but they don't want you to have them. Sometimes you have one person that wants to take the house away from the other person, or they force your hand and want you to sell the house. Again, not because they want it, they just don't want you to have it. So whatever that thing is that you all have that's joint, they're gonna work their magic to get it away from you. Either because you all have to sell it, or you win it in this custody battle. Again, it's not because they want it. They don't give two you know what's about that thing, but they don't want you to have it. And as long as they can, get your emotions all out of whack, then they've done their job. So what you're going to have to do is keep your emotions in check. I know you love your children. You love that home. You love that car. You love that dog, whatever else it is that you may have. And you don't want to lose it. You don't want to have to sell it. And you don't want to have to give it up. But you've got to keep your emotions in check, because as long as they see that they have your emotions just all over the place, honey, inside they are laughing and they are winning. And this is what you don't want. But like I said, you'll get to that stage once they've tried everything else and nothing else is working. And they know at that point that they've lost you. Okay? So just keep an eye open. But everything I shared with you today will be in the description box. So having said all of that, we've spent this week talking about the narcissist, and we'll more than likely wrap it up on tomorrow. I'm just giving you some different scenarios of how a narcissist works, because one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Everybody under the sound of my voice has experienced dealing with the narcissist. You just didn't realize it. One of two things happened. Either you didn't realize it, or they didn't know that they were a narcissist. Okay, but we all have dealt with that type of person at some point in time in our lives. And if you haven't, if you say, well, Michelle, not me, I haven't, okay, we'll just keep right on living, sweetie, because it's something that everybody goes through. You know, the sad reality is that there are so many narcissists in this world that you always have to be on your P's and Q's, because like I said, they are everywhere. And they will do anything and everything to make your life miserable. They will do anything and everything to make sure you don't leave them, because they can guilt you just that much to make you end up staying with them when you should just leave. So again, having said that, you guys, today I shared 7 things that narcissists do when they lose control. Because like I said, as long as they are in full control, oh honey, it's all good. But once they realize, ooh, I'm losing control, I don't have the control I used to have over this person, now things get serious. And they get desperate. And they want to maintain the control that they once had. But we're not going to allow them to continue to have that control. So, having said that, if you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your day. Right now, it is 75 degrees. It's a little overcast, and actually, the sky looks like it's going to rain. If I'm not mistaken, I think I did hear that we might get some rain later on. But weather-wise, it feels nice outside. A slight breeze, just a very slight breeze. But otherwise, it feels nice outside. So if you're in the DMV area, or wherever you are for that matter, and you're going to go out because it is Friday, I want you to make sure that you enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun. But no matter what you do or no matter where you go, I want you to be careful. I want you to keep your eyes open and pay attention to what's going on around you at all times. And y'all know I haven't said this in a while, but if you go someplace by yourself, then you need to leave by yourself. We are not out here picking up folks, okay? This world that we live in is we live in a crazy world. So we're not picking up anybody that we didn't leave with, okay? So that's it, you guys. That's all I have. As I always like to say, I love you all, and there is nothing, I mean absolutely nothing that you can do about it, because I love you, and that will never change. I love you so much that I want you to go out there, enjoy the rest of your day, because the best is yet to come. I believe it for you. I just need you to believe it for you. Love you all. We'll talk again soon.